In this video, I'll be showing you what I carry in my bag as a second year medical student. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Sebastian, a medical student from Australia, and today I'll be talking to you about what I bring around in this thing. So I'll be sharing some of the gear that I use in medical school, some of the things that I find useful, and hopefully you guys will find it useful for those of you going back to university, about to start, going to school, whatever, I'm not sure. But without further ado, let's get into my everyday essentials. So first things first is the bag that I use. So the bag that I use is the Herschel Little America, and I love this thing. I've had it for about 3 years now, and it's just pretty much done everything. I take it to class, I take it to people's houses, I use it for pretty much everything that I do. It's invincible, this thing. It's kind of like a rucksack style. You've got a pocket which can fit a 15-inch laptop, and the inside is pretty simple. It's just like an open space where you can dump whatever and anything that you want. But I got it in black because I think it looks pretty cool, and yeah, if you're looking for a cute little backpack, Herschel's the way to go. I love this thing. It is the Microsoft Surface Laptop 2. So I picked this up just before I started med school, and it has served me very well. It's super slim, it's super lightweight, so I think it's a little bit over a kilo. A nice Alcantara finish. What I did is I got this really cool little skin on it. It's like a carbon fiber black and orange little trim. If you haven't picked it up already, orange is my favorite color, so I like to put some accents to wherever I can. And it fits perfectly in the bag. I've been using it for a while. It's pretty fast for everything that I have to do day to day. So whether that be running through emails, writing notes, I find it a really good little machine, and I just like the typing experience with it. I find that I type really quick with it, and it just works really well. That's the laptop that I use day to day. So probably one of the best purchases that I made last year was an iPad. So I'm currently using the iPad Air 3. I got the cheapest version available. I think it was a 64 gig version. But I'd seen like all these people in my classes writing notes using tablets. I've seen YouTubers recommend it and show how they write notes. And I decided to pick one up for myself. And it's really helped with going completely paperless. I don't really bring any notes anymore. I kind of use this to scribble down ideas, to take notes in class. And I find it a really good device, especially for students. But I just really wanted to talk on a topic real quick. This is a question that I got asked about, and it was whether or not you should buy a laptop or a tablet. So if you had a choice between the two, what would I choose? And I'd probably say go for the laptop because it's a bit more versatile. You can do a lot more stuff. Laptops are generally more powerful. If you're wanting to scroll through files, if you're wanting to organize documents, I find it just a little bit easier, a little bit simpler to do on a computer. Yes, you have the writing functions of the tablet, but I really do think you need a laptop, if anything, for university or for school. So the next thing I have here is the Kindle Paperwhite. I find this little thing really, really good. It's perfect for reading things on the fly. You can change the brightness. It can store hundreds of books on here. So I'll bring this around day to day, unless of course I have the actual book copy itself, which I'll bring with me. So I'm on the bus and I'm on the train home. I find this little guy really useful when doing a little bit of reading. Next thing I have is water bottle. This is pretty essential. I drink a lot of water day to day, so I have one of these guys. It's got a thermal version so you don't get that condensation in your bag, and works pretty well. So another thing that I use every day is these headphones. So I'm rocking the Audio-Technica's M50X, and they're the non-wireless versions. I know that they have the wireless versions now, but I got these a few years back, and they've been serving me pretty well. And I finished them off with this orange and black carbon fiber skin. I got these from D Brands and they match the laptop, so I really like it. And I'll use these pretty much when I'm studying, when I'm at uni. Really good thing to have. They're not noise cancelling, but they've got some active noise cancellation, and I really like the bass that you get on these. So pretty much whenever I'm on my laptop outside of home, I will be having these in to listen to some study music or to listen to some lectures. Next, I have this little thing. It's a tiny little Bluetooth mouse. It's the Microsoft Designer mouse. You get a keyboard and a mouse with it, and I had a spare mouse left over for my computer setup, so I use it when I'm using my laptop. I'm not really good at the trackpad stuff, and I find that it cramps your fingers after a while, so I find this really useful when you're doing long study sessions outside of home. Next, I keep a little notebook. So I got this notebook as a gift, and it's super nice. It's Moleskine?
Nope.
Please, I'm sorry about my pronunciation, but it's a really nice book, and if I have any sort of things that I want to write down, jot down, journal, I'll use this little thing. And of course, you can't write without pens or pencils, so I have a little clear pencil case, which pretty much has everything I need. It has blue pens, red pens, black pens, highlighter. I keep a 64 gig USB on me just in case I want to transfer files from mates at school or anything like that. And the reason why I like it clear is that you can bring it into exams and they're not going to tell you off about bringing something that you're not supposed to. Another thing that I like to bring every day is my camera. So I'm actually using it now to film me, but usually I just bring the camera itself in case I do a spontaneous event with my friends and I want to capture some nice images then compared to my phone. And finally, of course, I have to bring my chargers. So for my Apple stuff and for my laptop, I keep these in here. They do the trick. I try not to keep the bag too packed. I have a lot of space at the top to bring extra stuff and I like it that way. And on that note, I'll show you some of the things that I bring on specific class days. I have practical days which run every week and we'll have like an anatomy lab or we might have a physiology lab. And for these you need a lab coat. So on these days I bring my lab coat, I bring the little lanyard to put your student ID, and this comes in handy once a week. Some people think that medical students carry their stethoscope around wherever they go, but that is definitely not true. This is my clinical stuff and I'm only really bringing this around every hospital day, which happens once a week. So most of the time I don't have this, but when I do need it, I like to have it in this nice little carry case. It's got a stethoscope. So this is the stethoscope that I use when I need to. I got the Littmann Classic, the student one. It's like the cheapest one that you can pretty much get for students. And it's really nice. I got the blue one. They didn't have an orange one, and an orange one would probably look a little bit ridiculous on the wards. It was really exciting when I first got it. It's sort of like, I don't know how to use it, but for me it felt like I was starting this journey, and that was a really cool feeling. Also in this little bag, I carry around a little notepad. So if I'm taking a patient history and I want to jot down a few notes, or we're in a tutorial and the lecturer or the tutor's speaking really fast and I just want to write down the odd notes, I'll use this in clinic. And I also carry around a little pen light. So I got this free with my stethoscope purchase, so I sort of carry it around, use it sometimes. It's useful for some examinations like a cranial nerve exam or for testing like pupil reflex and stuff like that. So it's a little handy thing to have. And we also have a class every week or so, and it's called team-based learning. And what we do is we basically go up in a team of about 5 or 6 people, and we'll talk through a case, we'll analyze the findings and the investigation data that they give us, and we'll try to come to a reasonable conclusion about what's the most likely diagnosis for this patient, and we go through some of the basic sciences and the background in it. So in those TBL sessions, I have been the guy that has to bring the whiteboard markers and the butcher's paper for when we draw our mind maps at the end of class. So every week or so, I will also have to bring this sort of stuff for the TBLs. The last thing that I bring now and then is my extra camera accessories. So when I'm vlogging at university or just outside, I like to carry around this guy. This is the Joby GorillaPod. Pretty much all the YouTubers have this thing. You can stick it around a pole, you can put it on random surfaces. It's really useful. And I'll carry around also a ND filter so I don't wash out the photos when it's outside, and some spare batteries, of course. So I wanted to just quickly touch on what I bring in my pockets when I'm not having my bag on me, and it's pretty much what every guy has. I have my wallet and I have my phone. I'm using the iPhone 7. It's been serving me well pretty far. It's got a big crack on the front, so we'll probably look to update it soon, but it gets the job done. And I also like to carry around these little earbuds. I spent, I think, $40 on these cheap little things from Aldi. I'm not sure if you have Aldi's a supermarket from where you live. It does the job. So that pretty much wraps up everything that's in my bag. As you can see, it doesn't get too packed. It's not too heavy, and I think the bag looks pretty cool. So this is pretty much what I'll bring on my everyday. This is my go-to, and these are just some of the things that I use. If you enjoyed the video, or if you found some ideas for some things to pick up before you start uni, can you please smash that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'll be putting plenty more videos in the future. There's a lot more planned, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a video. And until next time, this was Sebastian. Stay sharp. As a second-year medical student, let's get started. Sorry. Okay.